What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video on the Texas Rangers report brought to you by Centerfield Media. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over three free agents the Texas Rangers should sign, in my opinion, this offseason. So without further ado, I'm going to get straight into it. So the first free agent I think the Rangers should sign, I've talked about him a little bit on this channel, is Renato Nunez. Renato Nunez is more of a bat-first power type of player who doesn't really have a defensive position like Nick Solak, but I feel like with Renato Nunez, it's a little worse. His true position when he came up in the league was third base. He's bounced around to first base, played a little bit of left field, but he's more of a DH. I think for the Rangers, he could fill in as the everyday third baseman or a platoon player off the bench, or he could platoon with Nate Lau at first base. But I just think he's a solid bat that the Rangers could use. They lacked power in 2020, and he's definitely a power bat that the Rangers could have now and into the future, as he has team control for quite some time. He had 30 home runs with the Baltimore Orioles back in 2019, and he had 12 home runs with the Baltimore Orioles this year in 2020. The Rangers did have him for a little bit. I don't know exactly what year that was, but then they got rid of him. The Orioles got him, and the Orioles non-tendered him. Yeah, I think Nunez would be a good person for the Rangers to get. I don't know what his true position would be. We could try him at third, and if that doesn't work out, he can bounce around like he did with the Orioles. But I think this would be a good guy to get, mainly for his bat. Next, player / position on this list, I think the Rangers need to target one veteran relief pitcher. This is because the bullpen right now is extremely young, and they need a veteran presence in there to just help get them through a season, help get them through the ups and the downs. I think the oldest player in the bullpen is probably Joely Rodriguez, so it would be nice to get another person in there. So the one person I think would be good for the Rangers is Trevor Rosenthal. Trevor Rosenthal just came off of a really good season, and I think he'd be cheap to get for the Rangers. I know he had a bad year in 2019, but Trevor Rosenthal has good stuff, and his numbers in 2020 were a lot better than they were in 2019. I know that the short season doesn't mean too much to a lot of people, but I think if you dig deeper into the weeds, I think his numbers meant a lot. And he's an older guy, so he'd be a veteran leader in the Rangers clubhouse, and he can mentor the young guys in the bullpen, and maybe even just all the players all around. And he could be a guy that the Rangers could use to trade at the deadline as well, because right now the Rangers don't have too many people that they could trade at the deadline, because they don't have like a Lance Lynn or any type of player like that, unless they wanted to get super major and trade Joey Gallo. But moving on to the next player / position on this list, I have the Rangers targeting a catcher, backup catcher, and Jason Castro. Right now our backup catcher is Aramis Garcia, but I don't think Aramis Garcia has a future with the squad, because our future at catcher is Sam Huff. And so my thought is get a veteran catcher and like Jason Castro to help mentor Jose Trevino and Sam Huff throughout the course of the season. And then you can trade Jason Castro at the deadline for prospects, just like Trevor Rosenthal. Because it's not like Aramis Garcia is going to outplay Jose Trevino or Sam Huff to be the future catcher. And it's not like Aramis Garcia is going to net anything in a trade. So I'm thinking we could designate him for assignment. We can see what happens to Aramis, and then we sign Jason Castro to be the backup catcher. Kind of something like that happened with Robinson Chirinos this offseason. We signed him to a deal, and then we traded him. I hope Jason Castro plays better than Chirinos, but something of that similar situation. So with that being said, thanks you all for staying to the very end. This channel is specifically for Texas Rangers, so if you're a Rangers fan, please consider subscribing. If not, it's whatever also. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.